Google is involved in a lawsuit that alleges the Silicon Valley giant misled the public about how much data it collects from users, even when they are in Chrome browser's incognito private browsing mode. As part of this lawsuit, it's been uncovered that Google engineers were joking about how it's really not very incognito. They referenced the Homer Simpson guy incognito scene from The Simpsons. But the bottom line is they got a problem. Their chief marketing officer says in a memo that they really need to make incognito truly private. We are limited in how strongly we can market incognito because it's not truly private, thus requiring real fuzzy hedging language that is almost more damaging. I don't think there's any surprise here. I could probably guess what John's reaction is going to be, but let's find out on today's Not So Critical update. What do you think, John?
I'm just going to be natural, and then you can tell me if this is exactly the reaction you expected. First thing that comes to mind is no shit.
Yeah, I know.
However, we've talked a lot about your average Joe this week, but your average Joe is going to assume incognito is fucking private. Marketing it as private is damning on Google's part. You know, yesterday, what will be aired as yesterday or tomorrow, we spoke about, or we will speak about, Google's cool technology. And then here we are now again, you know, they are not beyond my grace, I guess, or not receiving it.
Kind of Google whiplash.
Literally.
Good to bad.
I remember receiving the email that on one of my older Gmail accounts that, hey, you could be part of this. If you used incognito mode between this and this year, you could be part of this class action.
Yeah.
So I've set a reminder for 2 years now to once a month I check in on this. Gotten a bit lazy in the last year. I haven't really checked in on it, but I do believe I signed up for the class action. So if any payout
get your $10,
I'll probably get notified. Exactly. Previously, when I get those checks, they usually sit on my desk until I clean up and throw them away, which is bad. Shouldn't do that.
It's free money.
You should always cash those checks. But cost me more gas than the check is worth to go to the fucking bank. Anyway. Yeah, I really agree with this marketing guy over at Google. They are marketing something that isn't private. Meanwhile, we have someone, a company like Brave browser. This is Chromium based, whose incognito mode is truly private. How can a tiny company like Brave take technology from Google themselves and do what Google cannot? So messy and so shitty that's what they, and I have friends who will like, oh yeah, I'm in incognito, it's fine. And it's like, no, it isn't fine. And this is where Google fails yet again.
And one argument is that it's not even better than nothing because it gives you a false sense of security. If you think you're secure, you'll do things that you wouldn't do if you know you're not secure. And this is almost a trick. But I've been using Brave. Peter was talking about Brave maybe a year ago, and I did switch over, and I've been really happy with the experience. It doesn't feel much different.
Brave. I really no, it totally behaves like Chrome. And like the good thing about it being Chrome, because Brave didn't used to be. Brave back in the day when I first started using Brave, they were homegrown, full browser built from the ground up. Then they switched to Chromium, and I was like, fuck you, Brave. And I went to Firefox. Firefox sucks still. People at Mozilla have been trying to fix this for like 30 years. Shit's still ass. Went back to Brave, and I'm super happy with it. They've done a great job. One feature I really love about Brave is when you open a new tab, it tells you just some fun stats on the top left corner. So for me, I have over 800,000 trackers and ads blocked, 22 gigs of bandwidth saved, and 11 hours of time saved.
Yeah, hopefully I'm not sharing anything private here on the page, but this is mine for the profile that I use just for our show. So my personal one has much bigger numbers because I only use this profile for the show, which is one of the ways I kind of isolate the tracking. I use different profiles for different activities. So the only thing I do in this Brave profile is show related stuff. But even still, you can see that it's definitely saved us some time. It is fun to see those stats, though. I agree.
It saves you time, and you can still use all of the Chrome-based extensions. It is Chromium-based, which allows you to install any extension you want.
Just super nice. Yeah,
it's
agreed.
Fantastic. So big shout out to Brave. If you are sick of Chrome, you can switch over very easy. I think it's bravebrowser.com, or you could just Google. You could just Google search Brave browser. Back to Google. What is there to say? Like, no shit, Incognito wasn't safe, but like this has been suspected and talked about for years that people are like, hey, Incognito is acting weird. Things I search for on Incognito are showing up as ads later on. So I am happy to see that Google's kind of getting their day of shit, but also like nothing's going to come out of this. All this does is let them know to basically protect themselves harder or mask it better, hide our activity a bit better.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to end up always. So yeah,
I do want to go back and back up what you said about Firefox, because I do the exact same thing. Every couple of years, I think, God, I really want Firefox to work. I'll try it. It doesn't get there. And I don't know what the problem is. I think they had a good reputation for privacy. I think they were one of the first, the Mozilla project, one of the first graphical web browsers, but just, and maybe it's not fair to blame it on Firefox. Possibly sites are designed for the Chrome. Because it used to be a big problem that you couldn't switch back and forth between Chrome and Internet Explorer, and some sites would only work right on Internet Explorer. So I wonder, maybe there are some of those things that certain JavaScript libraries, whatever, work in Chrome but don't work on Firefox. So maybe that's not entirely their fault. But I do really wish, like I said, every couple of years I try it. I want it to work. I commit to it. I give it my best effort, and then I always end up switching back.
It's so unfortunate. I think, you won't catch me donating a lot, but I believe I've donated to Wikipedia and to Firefox, to Mozilla. Like, I want them to work. I want it to work because they are the only other main competitor to Chrome. This is the biggest monopoly on the internet, arguably, as Google has both search and browser under their belt. There has to be a competitor. Like, otherwise it could go sour really fast. And I, just like you, I've done it so many times.
Yeah. Every couple of years.
Every couple of years, go test, see if it's still busted. It is busted. Just then I use it as a throwaway browser.
Yep, true. On Wiki, I think there was an article. I don't think I shared it because it was going to be too about the Wikimedia.
I saw it. Yeah.
So I didn't put it in the rundown because I thought it was going to be too political. And this is coming from me. But if you're making donations to Wikipedia, you might want to look into that a little bit.
Yeah. Sad. Guess that's it.